one number wrong. So we are going to start today because I know everybody, some of you are literally on your lunch hour. And so we're so excited to have the beautiful Michele. And thank you to all of you who recommended Michele. I love that we get to do that and get to learn, meet people and hear from people that maybe aren't in your seminar division and that you would never ever get to hear from. I know some have switched divisions recently. So some of you might. Michele, are you still in the same?
Am I still missing?
No, are you still in the same seminar?
No, we went from Sapphire to Emerald.
Oh, yeah, you're in mine
Oh,
now
you're in
then.
the, okay.
Yay.
Yes,
I love that.
I
Well,
see someone else nodding her head.
yeah. So if you are new to these lunch and learns, if you just are learning about them, we typically do them every Thursday. There's only sometimes with, seminars or leaderships or something like that. Sometimes we have a little glitch, but we can't do them every week. But we have a guest speaker every week and we record them. And it's literally just the YouTube is just Jennifer Enlow. So you have to give us till Monday. I tell them, give us grace till Monday to get the recording. If you've seen it on Voxer or Facebook or any of that, we do have a Facebook group that you're welcome to join where a lot of time you can get the different literature and things like that from. But we are going to get started today. And we have the beautiful Michele. Actually, I want to go spotlight. Are you okay if I spotlight you or would you?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
am.
okay. I just always like to ask because some people.
It's actually, sometimes it's easier to spotlight me and not see everybody's faces. So I actually get less nervous when I'm only
Yeah,
looking at me.
I always like that. Well, and you can change it. Oh, hold on. I think we got somebody.
If you're not member starting.
Hold on. Let me mute her.
Okay.
Okay, if you're not muted, I'm going to mute you. Please do not unmute because just for recording purposes, we've learned that even if you think you're in a quiet room, it ends up creating an echo. And so kind of like an alien noise in our recordings, and we don't want that. So Michele, thank you again for just being just a woman of excellence, integrity in this business. You come so highly recommended. I'm so excited to get to know you and hear from you. And for everybody that referred you, thank you, ladies, because I love this. I love meeting new friends, and I know what you're going to have is powerful for us. And I'm so grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule to pour into everybody, because really you don't get anything out of this other than just your go give heart of doing it. I mean, I just appreciate that. And I know how valuable your time is. And so thank you for being a leader in Mary Kay and being willing to do that. And I'm going to shush up and let you take over, friend.
Well, like I said, Jen, I think you're the one who puts a lot of time into this, like every week, making sure you have a speaker covered and making sure she remembers and getting the word out to everybody. So I really appreciate that. And to, I want to just thank every person who's on, because you're here because you're dedicated to a life of personal improvement, and that's something we all have in common. We're all dedicated to that life of personal improvement. And tonight, it's not going to be so much about products or strategies or sales. It's going to be a different topic, but I have to tell you, last week's speaker, Jennifer Carr, who spoke on sales, amazing. If you did not get a chance to watch Jennifer Carr's lesson, I'd say go back and check it out, because she did me a huge favor and she broke it down in such a way that you could start real basic. It was great. So I love this too because I learned from it. But today, my title that I gave this little lesson is Beyond Rejection: How to Reset Your Mindset and Allow Your Dreams to Come True. So being a former teacher, I have to like preview the points we're going to cover. So number one is why your worth is not up for debate, and success and failure don't define your value. And number two point we'll cover is recognizing the spirit of rejection, how old wounds and negative voices can quietly shape our beliefs and choices without us really even realizing it. And then the third point is freedom through perspective, and how to reframe no's and setbacks so that you see them as stepping stones and not stop signs. And then the fourth point is raising your deserve level, like practical tools and strategies. Like, how do you change that to build belief in yourself and to build belief in your dreams? And then to boldly step out toward those dreams. So, those are going to be like the 4 points. And I hope when we're all done, I hope that you will have hope and encouragement that your dreams are valid and attainable and worth pursuing because you are worthy of them. So, let's start. So success, like I said, point one is success or failure doesn't add or subtract. All right, so I have my notes because I'd forget everything I wanted to say if I didn't have this in front of me. Success or failure doesn't add or subtract from your worth. So in this business, in our business, and in life, we can easily start to believe our value rises when we have a great month, or falls when we hear a lot of no's. But here's the truth. Your value is not negotiable. Your value doesn't go up and down with your circumstances. Your circumstances don't define your value. So imagine $100 bill. It's worth $100. And if I crumple it up and even tear off a little corner, it's still worth $100. That's you. Your worth doesn't diminish no matter what happens to you. But sometimes past experiences whisper little lies about our worth that we kind of accept, not even realizing we're letting that go through the filter into our belief system. And the spirit of rejection or rejection often starts long before Mary Kay. And because of that, it took great courage to even join Mary Kay. Many of us carry what I call a spirit of rejection, and maybe a teacher made you feel small, or a parent spoke to you harshly, or peers embarrassed you, and or maybe the experience was much more traumatic from somebody that you loved or trusted. And those messages can stick even without realizing it. And then we begin to expect rejection. So when we expect it, then it causes us to hesitate to take risks. And we hold back from making calls or asking for the booking or sharing the opportunity because deep down we're afraid it will trigger the feeling of rejection, or we fear a no will be like a validation of those old lies. But the truth is, a no or rejection of any sort is not a verdict of your value. Often it's simply a mismatch or even God's redirection. So how do we how do we begin to free ourselves from those lies and raise our deserve level? So I'm going to give you some little strategies, okay? First, oops, wait, I got to find my spot here. Okay. When you believe you deserve what you believe you deserve determines what you allow yourself to receive. That's huge. So let me just say that again. What you believe you deserve determines what you're going to allow yourself to receive in any area of life, in our Mary Kay business, in finances, in anything, a special relationship. Tom McCarthy is the author of this book called The Breakthrough Code. Fabulous book. Especially if you follow and actually follow through on the little exercises. And it teaches that our deserve level is like a thermostat. And if your deserve level is set low, and you'll subconsciously pull back whenever your success rises above it. But when you raise that thermostat of worthiness, you'll allow yourself to receive more. And I always remember Tony Robbins' example of a thermostat. He said, like, for example, if your thermostat is set at 70 degrees and the heat kicks, it gets hotter than that, the air conditioner is going to kick in and lower it. Well, if our success worthiness thermostat is set at a certain temperature and we start experiencing more success than we are allowing ourselves to believe we are worthy of, we're actually going to do self-sabotage. That's where self-sabotage kicks in. We'll stop doing what worked. We'll start procrastinating. We'll self-sabotage. So the key is not always working at the self-discipline level. Sometimes the root of it is working at removing that spirit of rejection or raising your deserve level. And we're going to go into some strategies on how to do that. So, 3 practical steps to raise your deserve level. One is to reframe a no. And I have to tell you, this takes a little work. It doesn't happen by habit right away. So don't give up on doing it. No does not mean rejection of you. Instead of saying, she said no because I'm not good enough, or she said no, see, this is proof. Who am I to think I can achieve this thing that I want to achieve? She said no is proof of I don't have what it takes, or I'm not pretty enough, or whatever. Try saying, she said no because it wasn't the right time for her. Or you can say, she said no because she has no interest in skincare and she's going to go wrinkle, poor thing. In fact, Mary Kay used to teach us to say, go wrinkle when somebody said no. And then she would point out to tell us not to say it out loud, to whisper it under our breath. So you could say, go wrinkle in Mary Kay's honor. Or maybe she's broke and she's afraid of being tempted or feeling obligated, or just make up a reason for her and remind yourself that your worth is unchanged. And this doesn't mean that it does not mean that you are not destined for success. So that's number 1 strategy, reframe a no. And the second one is to affirm your absolute value. Absolute value means it doesn't go up and down. So Ogmandino, who wrote this book called The Greatest Miracle in the World, it's a skinny little book, old. It was like a game changer for me in my early days in Mary Kay when I was struggling with confidence and belief in myself. And Ogmandino in The Greatest Miracle in the World reminds us that there never has been and never will be another you. So every day you repeat out loud, I am worthy. I am chosen for success. I am worth it. I am worthy. I am chosen for success. And I can give you examples of my affirmations, which now they're completely out of mind because I don't have them in front of me. But I have them. I could always get them to you. But be persistent in claiming those truths. It will take time to rewire your belief system. So don't give up on affirming your absolute value so quickly. Read them every day, speak them out loud every day, write it down every day. And it will. I found that it helpful to I have it on my bathroom mirror, my makeup mirror, my dashboard. Now, if you have people who will make fun of you for doing that, you can say, I don't care, I'm setting a good example. Or you can do it on your phone, whatever works for you, but you do need reminders or you'll forget to do that. So now the third step. So first was the thermostat, reframe and no. The second one was affirm your absolute value. The third one is to take courageous action. So courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward, feeling the fear. So every bold action, whether you hear a yes or no, and by the way, everyone on this call already took a bold action when you signed up for Mary Kay. I don't think I've never met anybody who signed up Mary Kay confident that this was a smart move or that they were going to be great in it. So you already can affirm that you are capable of taking courageous action. And each bold action that you take, whether you hear a yes or a no, or a no response, it trains your heart that you are capable and worthy of growth. It dissolves the fear. If I feel the fear and I do it anyway, like I just count the number of outgoing calls and follow-ups I do, and I don't pay attention to the no's or the no responses. And I just don't pay attention to it. So it doesn't affect my self-worth or my fear that it's confirmation of what I can do. So here's the beautiful part. When we see ourselves the way God sees us, everything is going to shift. We'll take actions that actually test our boundaries and move us forward. And you want to just anchor in God's truth. So our value comes from God, not our circumstances, not other people, not the answers we get from our bookings or sales or sharing the business, not whether we've reached a goal or not. No other people determines our value. And Max Lucado, books have made a difference in my life. So I know I've talked about a couple, but here's another one. Max Lucado wrote this book, again, an older book, instrumental in my early days as a director. When God Whispers Your Name, that's the name of the book. And he reminds us that God calls you by name, not by your failures, not by your experiences, not by what other people say. He whispers your name. You are loved, you are chosen, and you are created with purpose. And when unfair things happen or doors seem to close, it is not evidence of your unworthiness. It's often a setup for something greater. He's making you stronger, and he's maybe redirecting you or just making you stronger to push through. One of my favorite affirmations to speak over myself is this: my past does not define me. My past does not determine my future. Failures do not limit me. My worth is absolute and my future is unlimited. So I was smart enough to write down that, because see, I forgot them earlier. I forgot I wrote it down. So when you anchor your heart in that truth, rejection will lose its tight grip. And so I don't know how long I've been talking, but in closing, this is what I would love for you to take with you, that your value is not up for negotiation. You were created for abundance, not scarcity. You were created for courage, not fear. You were created for connection. And scripture 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 says, and you may have heard this before, for God has not given us a spirit of fear or timidity. Okay, I'm forgetting how to say it, but you know, timidness. How about that? But of power and love and self-discipline. So you have permission from the big honcho above to go claim your worthiness, go claim your success and your happiness. And today, just begin the work of raising your deserve level. Say yes to taking a risk on yourself and to grow and to the life you desire because you're worthy of it. And remember, it does take time. So the end.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh,
Um,
Sharon
Sharon,
asked what chapter?
yes, it is 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. So 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. I could write that in there.
Yeah. Does anybody, before we continue on, does anybody else have a question or anything you want to say to Michele to affirm her or add to?
Yeah, Michelle, you did an outstanding job. I mean, I can't wait to get the recording so that way I can share this with every new consultant. This is absolutely fantastic. Can you do us a favor? Can you repeat the three books that you quoted back and
Yes,
forth.
yes.
So I want to make sure I have the titles correct.
Okay, so let me go back now. Tom McCarthy is the author of The Breakthrough Code. I was actually recommended that book from Jen Bessiker, and she also emphasized actually, not only read it, but then do it, even if it takes you time to get through the whole, like I read it through and then went back to do the exercises. The second book was Og Mandino is the author, The Greatest Miracle in the World. And both of those are easy reading books. And then I said Max Lucado, I think his name is. He's a pastor and a writer. When God Whispers Your Name.
Thank you.
I love
That
that.
is so helpful. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I got the
Yes.
correct titles. I wouldn't want to tell somebody that I have the wrong title. And thank you, Jennifer, for doing this. And I can't wait to get the recording on it. And drive safe. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, yes. We
Jen.
will. I'll usually it's by Friday, but I always tell her, give me till Monday because my office girl doesn't typically come in. And then she just kind of does this on her off time for us because she's so amazing and so go give. And so I tell her, just give us a few days just to be safe. But probably how you learned about this call or know about it is probably where you'll find the recording. If not, it's just Jennifer Enlow on YouTube. I know a lot of people have asked what the YouTube channel is, just my name. And the only thing I'll say is, I know sometimes people are looking at stuff from 3 years ago and like, hey, do you have? I do not. I mean, I'm sure I do, but I wouldn't even know where to begin. I do anything every that's good. I wish my memory was that great. But thank you again, Michele, for your time and your heart.
Oh, my
And
pleasure.
go give
Thank
spirit.
you.
Thank you all for
Yes.
joining. Yes, all have a incredible Thursday content.
Yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
I said have it.
Oh, I think we're losing you, Jen. So it was perfect timing.
Once again, thank you so much for doing this
Yes.
for us. It has been fantastic. I think we lost Jennifer there.
Yes, I think so. She's somewhere deep in Kansas.
I'm impressed that she's staying connected. When I drive that road, I get disconnected all the time.
Have a great week,
question.
everybody.
I have a quick question if you have 1
Sure.
minute, unless if
Sure.
she's not here off her. And that is right near the end, you started to say your value is not open for, was it negotiation? Something like
Yes.
that?
Yes. Your value is not up for negotiation.
Okay.
It's not
Thanks.
debatable. Yeah, that's what I said. Your value is
not
not up for
debatable.
negotiation. Yes.
That was a great, great line. Thank you very much. It was really on point.
We all need to hear that, right? Well, thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week. Thank you for coming and being such a nice audience.
You're welcome.
Bye.